Everybody, it's Peter here. I'm on Spirit of Ecstasy in La Rochelle. I've been here for a very cold 1 month and 1 day. Doing lots of work on the boat, getting it ready for us to sail away, which I'm intending to do in 8 days' time with my friends and mates down to the Mediterranean and picking up the missus on the way. Want to have a very quick chat today about 3 different things to consider. Number 1, configuring the boat. Number 2, planning to arrive in France, mostly for people thinking about coming here from outside of the Schengen region and from the US. And then number 3, readying for the off. So number 1, configuring the boat. I've already put a lot of stuff out on the buying the boat page in terms of what we've done, but just a few other things. So number 1, as it's mostly going to be me and the missus on the boat, the majority of the time we have configured our boat in the 3-cabin Maestro layout, and I will tell you that it really does make the boat feel like a home. It's incredible, the volume within the owner's cabin, and I will be shooting a video around the boat tomorrow when it warms up a little bit here, because right now I've been outside and I can hardly feel my hands. Living aboard, I'm going to tell you right now that freshwater toilets are an absolute must. We've chartered boats before in the past with seawater toilets, and they stink, and I don't like the smell of that. And the other thing is that sea or saltwater toilets, deposits build up in the pipes, and once in a while you have to take those off and clean them out. That's not a job I want to do. If you're living aboard and you've got freshwater toilets, then you're probably going to need to have a water maker. We've opted for the 12-volt Aquabase one that generates 100 litres an hour. That's going to be as much as we're ever going to need. Also, we've reconfigured the boat with lithium batteries and got rid of the AGM batteries that are supplied by Fountain Peugeot. We've now got in excess of 20 kilowatt hours of usable power. We eliminated the gas cooktop and put an induction cooktop on in. We've kept the gas stove, but we've also got a 4-in-1 Panasonic air fryer, convection oven, microwave and grill. So we've got some good redundancy there. We've got a washing machine on the boat as well, a Bosch 10 kilo wash, 6 kilo dry washing machine. And all that can be powered by the lithium batteries, together with all of the air conditioning or heating needs you need overnight with the lithium battery bank that we have. Obviously, you're going to have to think about recharging the batteries. So solar for us was an absolute essential must. We've got 1200 watts of solar generation on the boat. I think that should be sufficient to be able to recharge the batteries most of the time when it's just Shelley and I after an overnight. But if it's not sunny, or you've got guests coming and staying with you and friends, family, then you're going to probably need either a generator or the integral system on your engines. I've opted to stay with a generator, as I don't like the idea of having to run my propulsion units solely to generate power. And you've got redundancy as well, because the engines still have alternators which do charge the batteries up when you do run them. Whether you decide to go for a 110 volt or 230 volt mains outlet system. Thank you. Don't need to talk to you right now. Be quiet. The boat at the end of the day is 230 volts. The air conditioning works on 230 volts. All of the systems that are on the boat that come out of the factory are 230 volt. So you've got a 230 volt boat. So my recommendation is just keep it and buy your appliances here in France, even if you're going to be sending the boat to the Americas. Last, in terms of configuration, I'll talk about right here and now is connectivity. I've I've got a Starlink. I ordered Starlink. I had it delivered to Uchimata here in La Rochelle. Within 5 minutes, I've got 150 megabytes of download speed. Can be on the phone. I can be watching TV. Can be on the computer. It's everything you need. Right, planning to arrive in France. Again, this is primarily geared towards people who are outside of the Schengen region and also US. If you are from the US and you're planning to sail around the Med, your phone number will disappear after 2 months of being outside of the US from your carrier. That's just fact. I ported my phone number to Google Voice. Whilst it was seemed like a pretty scary thing to do, it was actually really simple. And now I have Google Voice on my laptop. I have Google Voice on my cell phone with a local French SIM card with data. And so people in the US, when they dial my old phone number, my computer rings and my phone rings with my 404 area phone number. But I also have a local a local French number that's associated with the SIM card. It's really, really simple, not hard to do, and absolutely the right thing to do. So I've posted a link on the useful links page on how you do that, or you can contact me if you want any more information. Do not bring lots of stuff with you to France. I've heard stories of people sending pallets of stuff here. France is in Europe. This is not the third world, and everything you can possibly want is here. If you're thinking about if you're going to be exporting your boat, keep all your receipts, and you'll be able to get your VAT back or a significant amount of it. For those who want to tour around Europe, obviously there is the Schengen concern associated with non-Schengen residents and passport holders. So what we have done, at the recommendation of some good friends of ours, Scott and Tina, hope you guys are well, was to obtain a long stay French visa. So we now have a visa for a year, which allows us to be in France for a year. And I believe that the Schengen clock doesn't start on us until we're outside of France. That may or may not be true, not sure. We'll see how it goes, but we can always run back to France. We're going to be wintering our boat in Montenegro, and as part of our deal with the marina in Montenegro, they're going to be getting us a long stay Montenegro visa. So we've got up until October to get to Montenegro, and or we can stay in France until next January. The Europe and the Mediterranean is our oyster. So you've bought your boat. You've got all of your dealer stuff done. You've got your paperwork done. I talk about that a little bit on buying the boat and the boat buying process page. You're ready to go, right? Hell no. But basically, when you take delivery of your boat from your dealer, you've got a nice shiny floating piece of fiberglass. You've got to commission and equip the boat with everything you need, from spare parts, tooling, chandlery, and safety equipment. You're living on a floating city with everything that entails. Propulsion, electrical generation, electrical storage, transfer systems, water generation, plumbing, sewage, complex navigation and steering systems, let alone the sail plan that you've got. You don't need to be an expert, but a basic knowledge, working knowledge, and working out the troubleshooting steps is really advisable, with, of course, the necessary tools and spares that you need, from scheduled engine servicing through to sailcloth sewing kits. My boat's got one freshwater pump on it. The Tanner 47, the whole boat, the freshwater system serviced by one freshwater pump. So if that fails, you're screwed. So I bought a spare. Cost me €800, go figure, but I'll be bloody glad I've got it if mine goes out. And I also know how to change it now as well. Look, some of this may sound a bit daunting, but there's a lot of people who've done this many, many times. Get advice from the owners' Facebook pages. There's lots of people who've given me lots of great advice over the past 2 years of me planning to be at this stage. and they'll be available to help, as will I. So use the resources effectively. And what I would say is, if like me, this is your first time doing this, hire someone to help you go through the buying process and the commissioning process. I've worked with a guy who has been absolutely amazing, and if you'd like more details on that, please get in touch with me. So once you're equipped, you've got everything ready. What do you need then? You need pilot books. And my recommendation also is to put together sailing checklists. And so I scoured the internet for that. I've kind of like combined one, like pre-sale procedures, emergency procedures, how to communicate off the boat on VHF radio. It's about 16 pages long. I hope people can find it useful. Again, I've put it on the useful links page. So I hope you guys find this useful for people who are embarking on the same kind of journey as me, whether it's on a Fountaine Peugeot or any other of the catamarans or even monohulls out there. If you're watching it on YouTube, please leave me a comment. If you're watching it on the website through spiritofecstasy.net, write me an email. Happy sailing, and tomorrow when it bloody warms up here, because it's flipping freezing right now, I can hardly feel my fingers after being outside doing some more work outside. Tomorrow it's going to warm up, so I will shoot a video walking around the boat of everything that we've done so far. Great, cheers, all the best, bye.